Although the flu shots are directed at UW-Eau Claire students and staff, Student Health Service will take anyone because it is most important that people get their flu shot. Chief Staniszewski says he's not planning on making any changes to policies at this time. However, he is talking to each division to see how they can work better together as one police department. For Update News with photographer Kelsey McMahon, I'm Chelsea Emery. There are over 11,000 students here at UW-Eau Claire, and 252 of them are international. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the flu season typically begins in mid-October and continues through January. UW-Eau Claire's Director of Student Health Service and registered nurse Laura Chalman says this is the time to get the vaccine.
People should always get a flu shot. It's recommended by the Centers for Disease Control for everyone 6 months and older. And it's one way of preventing influenza.
Chalman says there are other ways to prevent influenza, such as covering your mouth when coughing and washing your hands. But the flu vaccine is the best way to prevent it. The shot is especially important for those with other medical conditions.
Anybody that has chronic illnesses, if they get influenza, they can have other problems with their chronic illness that can cause hospitalizations and even death.
This year, there is a new type of vaccine that has 4 strains of the flu virus instead of only 3 strains. Chalman says the extra strain is able to protect people against more illnesses.
It's the breadth that it covers in terms of what strain might cause illness for this year. So they try to predict which are going to be the most common strains. Although the flu shots are directed at UW-Eau Claire students and staff, Student Health Service will take anyone because it is most important that people get their flu shot.
Flu shots are also available at local pharmacies such as Walgreens, and Mayo clinics in the Chippewa Valley area also distribute the vaccine. With photographer Mackenzie Miller, for Update News, I'm Chelsea Emery. The National Center on Budget and Policy Priorities says that almost 900,000 Wisconsin residents are seeing cuts in their food stamp benefits. In Eau Claire County, nearly 20,000 residents are seeing these cuts. Eau Claire County Employment and Economic Support Supervisor Jane Olson says food stamp users are beginning to see these changes.
We are hearing from customers who've gotten letters stating that the food share would be decreasing effective November. The reason for that decrease is the American Recovery Act funds was only set to be, I believe, around for 2 years, and that 2 years has come to an end.
Olson says the budget cuts are affecting people differently.
A single individual may be losing up to maybe $1, might be up to $11, depending on where they're at in the whole scheme of how much they're receiving. So it is making an impact on our families. They're not able to purchase some of the items that they were before.
The Eau Claire Human Services Department says most of the Chippewa Valley residents do not use food share. However, it means a lot to those people that do use the program.
To some of us, it might not matter, but when you're really counting pennies and pinching pennies, that $5 to $10 is a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, your basics that can't be provided now or needs to be provided in another way.
Other ways to obtain low-cost or free food are food pantries and soup kitchens. Olson says the food share supervisors and workers in Eau Claire will continue to help food stamp users as much as they are able to. Reporting for Update News, I'm Chelsea Emery. Milwaukee's police chief is defending the actions of 2 officers in yesterday's shooting at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. Police shot a 22-year-old man twice in the arm after he allegedly fled down a hallway with a semi-automatic pistol in the neonatal wing. Police Chief Edward Flynn said officers didn't have the luxury of waiting until the man left the hospital. The situation required immediate intervention, knowing the suspect had violent intentions and a warrant out for his arrest. No one else was in the hallway at the time, and no officers, hospital employees, or patients were hurt.
Houses that were destroyed. Some shop owners in Guion are opening up part of their shops as relief centers. They have many different products from first aid to canned goods.
The Toronto City Council voted to strip Mayor Rob Ford of some of his powers yesterday. Ford has consistently rejected calls to stand down, despite admitting last week to smoking crack cocaine in a drunken stupor about a year ago. Ford says he is getting professional help for his drug problem, but he sees no reason to step down from his mayorship. Ford did apologize today for his drug allegations. There will be a Toronto City Council meeting Monday with further discussion on this issue. Grab your rain boots and umbrella. This weekend will be a wet one. Tonight there is a 20% chance of rain with a low of 38 degrees. Saturday will bring in a high of 50 degrees with a 100% chance of rain. Saturday night will be mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of rain with a low of 46 degrees. Rain is likely again on Sunday with a 70% chance of precipitation. The high on Sunday is 51 degrees. Blue Gold men's and women's hockey are playing tonight. Women's hockey will play at 7 p.m. tonight against the Pointers at Stevens Point. Tomorrow night, the women will play the Pointers again at home. Blue Gold men's hockey will take on the Pointers tonight at home at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night, they play against UW Superior in Superior at 7:05 p.m. Ryan Braun will move from left field to right field for the Brewers. He joins former MVPs Miguel Cabrera and Joe Mauer as MVPs who are playing different positions. At this time, no one is sure exactly why Braun is moving positions, but there are some allegations that it may have something to do with his suspension. His move to right field for 2014 is not his first position change. When he entered the league in 2007, he was a third baseman and switched in 2011 to left field. Miguel Cabrera will also be back at first base from third base for next year.